Hello, my name is Stephanie Carolina Pucuji Cabezas. And today I'm going to talk about strategies to summarize information. The first strategy that I'm going to talk about is the SAC strategy. This strategy is an acronym for a state, that is the title of the article or the name of the book, assign, that is the name of the author, action, that is what the author is doing, and complete is to complete the sentence or the summary with keywords and important details. So some characteristic of this strategy is that it's useful for students that are just learning how to summarize, and also allow us to identify specific details of the text that we are going to summarize. Some advantage of this strategy is that it focuses on what is really important in the text, so help us to identify keywords and main details, and just removes the redundant. So here we have an example of this strategy. We have the original paragraph that we are going to summarize using that strategy. So the first mention that we need to write the name of the article. In this case is additive versus subtractive bilingualism. And then the say assign is to write the name of the author of this article, that is Faltis and Huddleston. Then the action, what the author is doing, well, he's state or they are stating. And then we have complete the sentence or summary with keywords that we already have here underlined and important details to support that keywords. So the second strategy is 5Ws 1H strategy. So this strategy relies in 5 questions that his name mentioned, is 5Ws, that is who, what, when, where, and why, and one H, that is how. So who is the story about? What did they do? When did the action take place? Where did the story happen? Why the main character do whatever she do? And how did the main character do? Okay, so a characteristic of this strategy is that students different levels can use it to summarize information, because it's not only for academic context, it can summarize different type of topics. And also advantage of this strategy is that it's simple because we don't need training to just answer a few questions. It's systematic because we just need to answer each of these questions. It's versatile because, like I mentioned, we can use in any topic. And it's comprehensive because allow us to see the whole text just by answering that questions. So here we have the example. We have the original paragraph, and summarizing using this strategy, we are just answering the questions. So who is the story about? In this case is Sarwar et al. What? Well, he mentioned that 90% of the students have access to internet, and also they have access to social media. Uh, when this action happened? Well, this action he mentioned in 2019. Where this story happened with these students that have cell phone developed, where is in educational use. Why the author is telling us? Because he wants to analyze the importance and prevalence of social media in an educational context. And how is he wants to do this is by incorporating strategies and technology in the educational curriculum. So by using all of that questions that we already answered, we have this small summary. So next we have the strategy somebody, wanted, but, so, then strategy. So this strategy is helpful for stories principle, help us help students to understand the elements of the story also help to recognize main ideas, recognize the cause and effects in a story, help students to identify the main characters, the other characters, and what problems are they facing and how are they solving that problems. So the strategy focus on somebody, that is who is the story about, wanted that what does the main character want, but is identify a problem of that the main character probably just have in the story. So mean how does the main character solve the problem, and then still how the story ends. So here we have an example. The original is about Percy Jackson, and by summarizing we can just answer the elements of this strategy. So the first one is somebody. Who is the story about? It's about Percy Jackson. What does the main character want? He wants to prevent a catastrophic war between the gods. We are going to identify the problem that the character is going to face, that is, Percy gets caught up in a mystery that could have a catastrophic consequences. So how does the main character solve this problem? He, with his friends, sets on a quest to solve this problem. And then the end of the story is that Percy returns the lightning bolt to the Zeus and reconciles with his father, and he prevents the war. And here we have that small summary after answering that elements that help us to make the summary. And then we have the first, then finally strategy. This is helpful to summarize events in a chronological order. Help us to identify the most important points of any topic. And we have here first that is going to answer the question, what happened first? Then is the key details that took place during the event or action in our text. And finally, what were the results of the event and action? With these three words, we are just represent the beginning of the story, the main action that is going to happen in the story, and we are going to write a conclusion of the story. So here we have an article about the origin of the modern K-pop. And to summarize, we are going to use the strategy of this. That is, first tell what happened. So K-pop originates in 1987. Korean music evolves due to the influence of Western culture. What happened next? When modern K-pop emerged more in the 90s because they have similar music to pop that is here in the Western. And also various agencies begin to hire young performers to become idols. And finally, what happened? Well, in 2000, K-pop becomes international, and in 2007, with the arrival of BTS band, attracts millions of international fans, and now become what K-pop is knowing about by breaking records in international charts. So summarizing that, using this information, we can see here a small summarize, and we can use the words first, then, and finally, just to point where exactly are the main ideas of the text. So that's all. Thank you for watching.